Hello, my name is Siddharth and today we are going to talk about typecasting and ternary operators. So, let's do typecasting. What is typecasting? Typecasting is when we convert variable of one type into another type. For example, converting integer into float or float into integer or integer into boolean. So that kind of thing. Like even converting string into an integer. So all this conversion is like typecasting. So there are two types of typecasting. One is implicit, second is explicit. Implicit typecasting is like when we typecast something like automatically. That's an implicit typecasting. Like we don't actually typecast it, we just store this some kind of value, one type of value into another type, and compiler converts it into another type itself. So that's implicit, like automated typecasting. And there is an explicit typecasting where we define uh, how do we want to typecast a particular variable. So like not a how, but what we are converting it into. So for example here, it say a is equals to integer and then b. So this is explicit typecasting where I'm converting of type variable of type b, float, into an integer. So that's an explicit typecasting. uh, so this also happen, like these are the like most of the variables, like let's say that every variable has some space inside a memory. For example, integer is 4 bytes, and float is 4 bytes. Let's say there is a long, so long would be 8 bytes. So if I convert a value that is larger than integer, like maximum value of integer, and I have stored it into a long, and let's say I convert it into an integer. So I would lose some data because I am literally typecasting and 8 bytes into trying to store 8 bytes into 4 bytes. So definitely there would be, I would definitely lose some data. So that's also called as downcasting, where we convert like something greater into something less thing. So that's a downcast. And then there is something like when we convert integer, normal integer 32 into integer 64, that means long. So that's an upcasting. So we are trying to store 4 byte the data of 4 bytes into 8 bytes. So there is no loss of data in that case. So same thing would happen while inheriting yes, inheriting. So let's say there is a class A, and there is a class B that inherits publicly from class A. So if I create an object of class B and try to convert it into class A, so that's an easy typecast, because I'm converting a child into a parent. So that's a downcast. But if I'm trying to like so that's an easy and automated casting. That's it can happen implicitly, it doesn't matter. But other than that, if I'm trying, let's say I create a variable of type A and try to convert it into type B, so it may not be possible. And most of the time it won't be possible, because when I inherit something, I enhance my class. Let's say there are 4 variables in class A, and there are 10 variables in class B, and I inherit from class B inherits from class A. So when I'm try to convert from class A to class B, what are the value of other 6 variables, extra other 6 variables. So that kind of thing happens in upcasting in while inheriting. So that's that kind of thing is complicated. uh, so now let's talk about ternary operators. So what are ternary operators? They're just another version of if-else statement. So let's say this is their syntax. There would be a condition, then question mark, then there would be a statement that executes when the condition is true, and there would be a colon, and then there would be a statement that says that executes when the condition is false, and that at last there would be a semicolon. So like we can nest them like here, like condition, and then the if true, then there is another condition, and there is true statement and then false statement. And if the condition is true, then there is another ternary operator, and with the condition. So like that's the third thing. So I can nest it, and there is no limitation in nesting. So like here is the example of typecasting. This is the implicit typecasting. Let's say float a is equals, this is the value of float a. So like I can easily convert it into an integer. It's implicit typecasting. I don't have to do anything, just store the float value inside an integer value. So like it happens. Then so like here we see, yes, we do lose the data of the floating points. We always lose the floating points while converting from float to integer, uh, because like integer cannot store the floating values. And then let's say we try to do b by 2. So like divide it by 2. So b is integer, so like it will be it will cast an so like b is 9, right? So 9 by 2 is 4.5. But my compiler would implicitly cast it into integer because the b variable is integer. So here would be we see the output of 4, and then there is an let's say icon. Then in the third statement, what I do is I convert the my b variable b into a float. So like value of float is 9 right now. Sorry, b is 9. I converted it into float. So like it's 9.0, and then I divided by 2. So it would be like 4.5. Answer is 4.5. And then there is the example of the ternary operator. In here, instead of condition, I'm saying b. So b, like I'm not comparing with anything, right? So like it will always be true. So like let's say b, and then if it is true, then let's say I do the things again. So like this is the part that will never get executed in this statement. So I try to nest it. So and now let's say 5 is less than 8. So yes, it is true. So like the answer should be true too, like here. uh, right now, like this is it. Thank you.